morning, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Whoop, whoop. Warm-up number 8 is on the screen. Let's get started, please. How's everybody doing? Good? How's the weather out there? Yeah? More humid than hot or more hot than humid? Yeah? I tried to get here earlier today. I was here like about 6:45-ish, and it was already starting to pick up that humidity. The sun wasn't completely out, so there was a nice little breeze, but then later on, like around 8, I heard it was like nice and shiny people out there. All right, get started with that, and we'll get this show on the road in a little bit. All right, so warm-up number 8. Number 1 says simplify that expression. Numbers 2 and 3 is just practice on solving one-variable equations and inequalities. So you should be just about done by now. Share with your neighbor what you got for all 3 of them. All right. All right. Good sharing out loud. Let's see. Get us started, please, with number 1. Anthony E., what'd you get for number 1? 1a minus 2b plus 6. Hands, have you got that? Okay, I see a disturbance in the force. Let's double check this. What's that? Let's see. We got negative 4a and negative 3a. That's what? Negative 7a. Combine that with positive 5a, so that it gives us negative 2a. All right? Let's go to B. Negative 4b and positive 2b gives us negative 2b. Bless you. Bring down the 6. Hands if you got that. All right, looks about right. Let's go to number 2. Let's go over that one together just to make sure we got the practice in. All right, Anthony, pass someone. Anthony? All right. Anthony, where do we start? Oh, so he says he's going to start on the left side first by multiplying the 5 into the parentheses. So we get 5a plus 10 plus 6 minus 3a. And then we're going to continue simplifying that expression all the way down. So what is positive 5a minus 3a? 2a. What is 10 plus 6? 16. Can we simplify any more? No. Pass someone so they can help me on the other side. So distribute the 3 here. So this is negative 6a plus 2a plus 4. Am I done simplifying? No. What is negative 6a plus 2a? Negative 4a. Bring down the 4. Next step. Pass someone. Noah. What do we do next? So he needs to get rid of the negative 4. So what is the opposite of negative 4? A. Add 4a. Add 4a. We end up with 6a plus 16 equals to 4. Pass someone. Yes, sir. Subtract 16. Subtract 16. 6a equals negative 12. And last but not least, everyone, divide by 6. A equals negative 2. Hands if you got that by yourself. Let's go. Oh, yeah, we got this. go to number 3. Number 3. Pass someone. Danny, multiply times what? Times 6. I'm going to put that over 1. Distribute. That is 18 over 2x plus 6 over 3 less than or equal to 6 over 6. Continue, Danny. Divide, so we end up with all right. Continue, Danny. Subtract 2, 9x less than or equal to negative 1. And last but not least, everyone, divide by 9. X is less than or equal to negative 1/9. Hands, if you got that. Tell your neighbor why we didn't flip the inequality symbol. Tell your neighbor why we didn't. Yeah, because we didn't multiply or divide by a negative. All right. So, I didn't ask you to graph it, so if you did up to right there, that's good. Copy the agenda for today. Warm-up number 8. Today we're still continuing on with compound inequalities. I know some of you had problems last night. Get it? Problems? Like, what? No? All right. So tonight I'm going to give you some more problems. It's a play sheet, and I'll address that in a little bit. But today is a day that I'm addressing something else in regards to our home play. I started correcting home plays, and one thing that I've been looking at is some of us are not completing our stuff, and I'll address that so that you know exactly where you're at. I'm going to be using some psychology and some biology, if you want to call it. All right. So, before I continue, write your utensils down, look up to the screen, and this is being recorded in case you need to revisit this information. So here's my artistic part. Here it goes. Look up. This is your brain. You're like, oh, pretty good. You guys see it? In case you don't see it, here's the eye. Here's your brain. All right. The important part from the brain, some of it is here and here. This part is known as the short-term memory. What is it known as? Short-term memory. Now, you've probably seen movies where people get into a vehicle accident or a motorcycle accident or a football accident where they bump head to head, and sometimes they forget things that they just happened earlier. That's why this is known as the what? Short term. On a day-to-day basis, the way the brain works, anything that we do, experience, whether it's touch, smell, taste, hearing, seeing, something that our body learns goes into the short-term memory. Okay? In order for you to retain everything that you, or anything that you want to retain for long term, it has to go from here to back here. That's why also in movies, you've probably seen when people fall back and they hit their head in the back, then all of a sudden they forget a lot of stuff from their past because this is a long-term memory. In order for you to move whatever you learned on a particular day, let's say yesterday in my class, you need to repeat within 24 hours. You're like, wait a minute, repeat? Yes, like practice. You're like, oh, that's why you give us home play. What? Of course, you need to practice what I give you. Because if not, check this out. If you don't do this, this information tries to make it over here, but it kind of like loses strength, and you only keep from 50 to maybe max 70%. You're like, okay, what does that mean, Mr. Q? Let me elaborate on that. Think about other years. But I want you to think of your other class, not mathematics. I don't want to put you on the spot with math. Let's say your science class or language arts or social studies. You did something in class, you're like, oh man, this is so easy. But you didn't go home to practice. You come back, you take a quiz, and you finish, you're like, oh, I got this. And all of a sudden you get your paper back the next day, guess what? 60%. You're like, what? Your brain cannot produce what it doesn't have. Let me repeat that again. You need to practice. That's why when I was a coach, a basketball coach, I didn't put my players that didn't go practice into the game. Why was I going to put them in? They didn't practice. Does that make sense? I mean, am I talking crazy over here? That's why, guys, even if you turn in stuff kind of like to get the credit or get the points, you'll get the points, but this year assessment is 60% of your grade. That's a lot. That means when you're by yourself, you need to perform and perform well in order to get at least your 60% in. Does that make sense? Therefore, for those of you that are starting to copy people, their home play, you're like, already? Yes, already. I found a couple. Stop copying. Do your own work. Please, pretty please. With a cherry on top. Does that make sense? Yes? Am I talking something out of the ordinary? No, right? It's something that's doable. Please. We're barely on the second week. I'm trying to finish correcting stuff so I can give you a progress report tomorrow to take home and get signed. We're going to do that every 2 weeks. You're like, what? Oh, yeah. I got this. I'm like the Terminator. Yeah, you're going to have to bring that back because it counts as an assignment. Corner, let's go. All in the wrist. All right. Did we get the, do we understand how our brain works now? Yes? That's why you need to practice, not only in my class, any other class. Make sure you practice anything that they leave you, whether it's only 2 things, 6 things, or whatever it is that they give you to practice. Please, pretty please. All right. Enough said. So with that said, copy the code for tonight, XAI8Q, XAI8Q, in case you missed any of the slides. They should be in there. Last night's home play, hold on to that. We're not going to turn it in on Canvas. You're like, what? No, we're going to review some of it here just to make sure we got it. You're like, oh, thank you. Yes, I just want to make sure that we got this, okay? However, tonight's home play, look it up. It's a play sheet. Pretty much it's the same practice from yesterday. But I want to make sure I address yesterday's here before I give you this one again. Now, where do you find this? With that code I gave you, or if you go to Canvas, go to the module, in there where you turn in your home play, you're going to find an attachment with a play sheet in there. Once again, tell your neighbor where else to find the home play, aside from the AirPod. Yeah, Canvas, we got it? All right, so with that said, quick intro, we did that. Get a Cornell note, please, and then we'll get this show on the road. All right. So, I can solve one variable equation and inequality. So we've been on our road in solving these. We started last week and a little bit on Monday, just solving. We did our Freire model, yes. We know what they are, what they look like, what they don't. We follow 4 steps. Remember those, yes? Simplify, isolate, plot, and check, yes? Yes, Mr. Q. And we're going to continue doing so. And today we're going to address a couple of things that probably give you a little bit of issues on the home plate, okay? So, I went ahead and did some graphing on one of the problems. I showed you the animation for the compounds, and we said that they combine, and that becomes a compound inequality. We went to example 1, yes. We went to example 2. From there, we went to example 3. Copy example 4. Copy this one, example 4. We're going to put in some work just so that we get some practice in. Do this one together. You don't have to copy the instructions. Copy the inequality. -4 less than or equal to 3n plus 5 less than 11. All right. Line down the inequality symbols. Step 1, simplify. Can we simplify the left? No. How about the right? No. How about the center? No. Step 2, isolate the variable. Leave the variable by itself. Tell your neighbor what to do here. Where do we start? What do we do there? What do we do there, Trinity? Subtract 5 to all sides. Subtract 5, subtract 5, subtract 5. We end up with -9 less than or equal to 3n less than 6. And our last step, Andrew. Divide all sides by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3, -3 less than or equal to n less than 2. Hands if you got that. All right. Are we done? No. Let's graph this. Here's our 0. The left part of our compound inequality, I'm going to use red. So my dividing point is what, everyone? -3. Is it an open or closed point? Tell your neighbor, is it an open or closed point? Yeah, close because of that equal sign. So we do a solid point. That means the -3 is part of the solution. Next, let's test. I'm going to use 0. I'm going to write it right underneath here. -3 less than or equal to 0. Is -3 less than 0? Yes, so we shade towards 0. Next, the right side I'm going to do in green. Right side of the compound inequality. What's my dividing point? 2. Open or close point? Open. And I'm going to test 0 again. So 0 here for n, less than 2. Is 0 less than 2? Yes, so shade towards 0. Where do both shadings intersect? Right here. Those are my what? Solutions. Solutions. And it's also known as a what? An and inequality. Okay? So it's a good review, yes? Are we done? No. Solution set. Solution set of n, because this is no longer x, it's what? N, such that, tell your neighbor what to write after that, please, and then close the solution set. What do we write right after that? Dominic, what do we write after that? That is correct. So you can either get it from here or check this out. Bring this down. Bring this down. Here the shading represents the variable. Arrows to the left. And then see which one has a solid point, which is this one. You put an equal sign on that. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with this? 4 or 5, okay. Let's go to the one we did yesterday at the end. Let me go, copy this one. Example 6. Example 6. And it reads, 4x less than or equal to 20 or 3x greater than 21. You're like, I see it, Mr. Q. So let me get you started. Line down the inequality symbols. I'm going to do the left side in red, the right side in green. So can I simplify the left or the right of that one? No. Isolate the variable, so we divide by what? 4, both sides. So this is x less than or equal to 5. Bring down the word or. Let's go to the next one. Can I simplify the right or the left? No, so therefore isolate the variable, divide by 3, divide by 3. X is greater than 7. All right, let's go to our graph. All right, here's my 0. I'm going to start with the red one. What's my dividing point? 5. Open or close? Close, because it's got an equal sign. And I'm going to test 0 here instead of x. Is 0 less than or equal to 5? Yes, so I'm going to shade towards 0. Let's go with the other one. Dividing point is 7. Open or close point? Open. And I'm going to test 0 again. So is 0 greater than 7? No, so I don't go that way. I go the opposite direction. And we're going to label this one or. Now, yesterday we finished up to right there. Yes, from 1 to 5 up to where you're up to right there. But we didn't do the solution set for this one. So underneath, I want you to write solution set x such that all right, look up to the screen. Here it goes. Watch. I need to write an inequality for this. What does this shading represent? The variable, is that correct? What's my dividing point? Okay. Then I'm going to write the word or. What comes next? The other dividing point. And then the shading, which represents what? Now that you have that, check this out. In between the x and the dividing point right here, arrow to the left. Is it a solid point? Yeah, so it's an equal sign. This one, open point, so it's pointing to the left and no equal sign. Fairly simple? Yes? All right. From 1 to 5, I'll come to Mario to right there. Okay. Let's do another one. Copy this one. Example number 7. 2 plus r less than 12 or r plus 5 greater than 19. Do that one by yourself completely with a graph and the solution set. Go. So, let's see. Line down the inequality symbol. I'm going to use a red for the left, green for the right. Get us started, Rebecca. What do I do here? Subtract 2 to both sides, so we end up with r less than 10. Hands if you got that. All right. Then you bring down or. Next, Rebecca. Pass someone. Who? Me? What? Subtract 5 from each side. Then we get r greater than 14. Hands if you got that. All right. Next, let's get our number line going. Now, look up really quick. Whenever you end up with two positive numbers that are way over there, make sure you bring your 0 as farthest to the left, so like that you can move your stuff over there. Does that make sense? Yeah? All right. So, dividing point is 10. Open or close? Open. Let's test 0. Is 0 less than 10? Yes, so we shade towards 0. Next, dividing point is 14. Open? Yes. Let's test 0 to see if I go that way. Is 0 greater than 14? That's false, so that means I'm going to go the opposite direction than 0. And once again, this is a what? Or. Solution set of R such that, so here it goes. What does this shading represent? R, dividing point is 10. We write or. What's next? Dividing point of 14. This is R. Arrows to the left. Do they have anything that's shaded? No. So therefore, we're done. Hands if you got that by yourself. All right. Now, In a little bit, I'm going to ask you to log into your Nearpod, and you're going to be sending me all your work. So those of you that are not doing your work, you're already falling behind. My goodness. Copy this one, example 8. We already did 2, 3 of them by participation. See if you can go a little bit faster on this one. We got 7x greater than or equal to 21, or 2x less than -2. Copy and go. All right, so Brandon said divide by 7 both sides. X is greater than or equal to 3. How about to the right side? Oh, let me bring down the or. And I'm going to use green for the right side. Let me pause that really quick. Continue, Brandon. What do I do? Divide by 2. X less than -1. Hands if you got up to right there. All right. So we need to go to our graph. Since we do have opposite numbers, I'll put the 0 in the center. And Brandon's going to pass it to Martin. Put the 3, bless you. Hold on. Start with 3. That's our dividing point. Open or close point. Close, so we'll put a solid point there. And we're going to test what number? 0. So is 0 greater than or equal to 3? Can somebody get that, please? Say student speaking. Thank you. Is 0 greater than 3? No, so I don't go towards 0. I go to the opposite direction. Yeah, because this is not true, right? This is false. So instead of going towards 0, I go the opposite direction. Who? David? To the office? Okay, take the pass. Did they say he's going home or just to the office? Oh, no. Take the pass. Martin, continue. The other dividing point is -1. Open or close? Open. Let's test 0. Is 0 less than -1, guys? No, so I go the opposite direction. Instead of 0, we label this what? Or. So here goes again the solution set. Solution set of x such that, what is this shaded region? X. What's my dividing point? -1. Or dividing point 3, shaded region X, arrows to the left. Which one has a solid point? This one. And there it is. Hands if you got something like that. Let's go. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you so far? 4 5s, 4 5s. Okay, we just need more practice, yes? All right, let's move on. Copy this one, example number 9. Number 9 says write the compound inequality shown by the graph. Copy the graph, please. Let me zoom in. Give you some time. Go. Here we go. Let's write our solution set for this one. Now, did they give you a variable to use? No, they don't give us any variable, so I'm going to use my initial. You use your initial. So I'm going to use for this shaded region Q. So we start with solution set Q such that, all right, what's my dividing point? -2. What is the shaded region? For me, it's Q. For you, it's whatever you use. What is the other dividing point, guys? 5. That is correct. This one is 5. This one is -2. The shaded region is Q. And then arrows to the left. Are there any shaded points? No, and we are done. Woo-wee. Let's go. All right, a little bit better, yes? You're like, Mr. Q, this is the one that gave me problems last night. Problems? See what it did there? Copy this one, example number 10. Write the compound inequality shown by the graph. Let me zoom in for that one as well. Copy the graph, please. By now you know how to write the solution set for this one, yes? Copy that. Did anybody go ahead and write your solution set for that one? Let's see, I'll give you 20 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. He's going home? Okay. Bye, Andrew. Make sure you watch the video. Andrew. Actually, your name comes up on the video. Let's go. All right. So, with that said, show your neighbor your solution set so that they can see the inequality you came up with. Better, Andrew. All right, let's see. Here goes. Solution set. What variable did you use, Noah? X. Noah, for the shaded region, he used X. So, solution set of X such that I start with the shaded region, which is what? X. What's my dividing point? If it doesn't intersect, it's a what? Dividing point is 2. Shaded region is X. Arrows to the left. Are these solid? Yes, so both of them have an equal sign. Hands if you got that. All right. Now, they're asking only for the inequality, compound inequality. I gave you the entire solution set. So I want you to underline this piece in a different color and just write compound inequality. But I'm getting you used to writing your solution set. Yes? All right. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you up to right there? Yeah? Okay. So, that takes us to the home plate. Get that in front of you, please. All right. So, by now, numbers 4 and 5, we know how to do, right? This is an or, this is an and. Let's focus on the graphs first. So, let me zoom into number 8. These flies, man, they bug. Right? Right? I know. These brilliances just come out of my brain. All right, here we go. Let's look at this one. What variable do you want to use for the shaded regions, guys? What is it? X, okay. I heard X, so this is going to be our X. Okay. So, solution set, X, such that. All right. So, tell your neighbor what to write next. So like that I can call on someone. Tell your neighbor what to write next. Yes. All right. What do I write next? Dominic, guide us. Hands, have you got that? Yes, that is correct. The shaded region is X. Here's my dividing point. This is or. This is 3. Shaded region is X. Arrows to the left. Which one is solid? The -5. And close your bracket. From 1 to 5, how comfortable? Okay. Now, notice that that one is a compound inequality. However, look at number 7. What do you guys notice from number 7? It's just a simple inequality, yes? All right, without the brackets. Look at it. I'm going to use X for the shaded region. Tell your neighbor what to write first. What do I write first without the brackets and all that? What do I write first? And Anthony D is going to help us out. What do I write first without the brackets and all that? I just want the inequality. Okay, I think some of you need the brackets. Bracket x such that. What do I write next, Anthony? 2.5, which is this one, the dividing point, yes? And what is the shaded region, everyone? X, arrows to the left, and it's an open point, so that's it. Hands if you got something like that. Okay. So with that said, I want you to do number 6 by yourself. Number 6. Very similar to the one we just did right now. Inequality. Okay? All right, do me a favor, get your Chromebooks in front of you. I want to see some of this work. I'll give you a code right now. Share with your neighbor number 6 before you move on. And I'm going to stop the video right there. Enjoy your home plate.